My God, he's so funny. I kind of almost wish I had a towel. Oh, you're gonna bite me? Oh, you gonna bite me? You gonna bite me now, Enzo? You gonna bite? Oh, you gonna bite me now?
Cooing out to the world.
Hey, you guys.
I know it's late.
Can you grab me a like a towel or something to put on my shoulder?
Yeah. So this.
Yeah, because you know he's gonna go le poo poo. Le poo poo.
He's been practicing out his vocals, you guys.
Yeah, he's been practicing his vocals and he's feeling a little spicy tonight. So if he decides to gnaw on my head a little bit, I told you he was gonna poop on me, Savannah. I knew that was coming.
Oh, okay.
Why is it turning? It's like weird. It's like
every time I.
Yeah. Nasty.
No.
Oh, nasty poo poo boy.
Poo poo.
Poo poo. Poo poo. Poop.
We're supposed to tell him poop.
We've been teaching him about poop, but it doesn't always work.
He meows a lot, you guys.
Yeah, he meows a lot.
He's not even around the cat a lot.
Enzo.
You step up so I can put this on Mama's shoulder.
Enzo.
Oh, that's her hair.
Ooh.
That's your hair, baby.
Oh, wow.
It's like, what the heck? Let's put this up on here. Perfect. Oh.
Oh my gosh! Did we scare you? Did we scare you?
Okay, step back down. Step down. He's coming. There you go. Good
Alright.
boy.
Yeah. So
I will read the comments.
I've got my poop guard on.
Yeah.
Have
a surprise today for you guys.
Alrighty. Okay, you guys. So I'm here to do a live stream. And I'll wait till we get some more peoples, and then we'll do a surprise unboxing. I'm here with Savannah. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, you guys. I'm really feeling the red. I found a new way to manage it, and it's been awesome. So it doesn't fade like it used to when I was younger.
To answer your question, Nyla, no, Enzo doesn't talk yet, but like I said, he's practicing his vocals. Yeah,
he's not talking yet, but he's definitely doing a lot more vocalizations than he was previously, which is pretty cool. Thank you, Terry. So anyway, I wanted to. Are you funny boy? Are you funny boy, Enzo? Are you talking boy? So I figured I would have Enzo here with me to kind of talk. And like I said, we're gonna do a pretty special unboxing tonight, okay?
How old is Enzo? He's a couple months old.
Enzo, he's like 5-6 months old right now. He's a baby. A little baby. Yeah, we need some cashmere feet. Yeah. That's so funny. I'm glad that you guys got a kick out of that. Because it was pretty funny for us too. She's very special girl. So here, I'll edge in here, girly. My little Savannah banana. So I did Savannah's hair too.
We're gonna actually.
We lightened her hair. We're gonna put a toner on it tonight. We wanted to wait and not over process her hair. So
don't worry, Brad Mondo.
Don't worry, Brad Mondo. I told Savannah, I was like, you're lucky that you have a mom that's made all these mistakes already, because I've had some hair bleach fails.
I found your dog with a dead possum. Ooh.
Ooh.
We saw a coyote carry off a dead skunk, actually, because we could smell it today.
I see you looking at my hair, Enzo. You better not chew out my hair.
He doesn't like red. I forgot about that.
You better not chew out my hair. Oh, yep. He's like, I'm going to take your hair. I'm going to take your hair. Enzo. Did they see you? Did you hear him laugh? He's so funny. You're so cute, Enzo. You're so cute, Enzo. That's what the towel is for. He's more than welcome to poop.
But we gotta tell him.
He can be a pooper, a pooper scooper. So
we look like sisters.
Yeah, thank you, Julian. So yeah, so I lightened her hair. Looks pretty even, considering that we were actually doing her roots. Yeah, there's a little bit of darkness there, but you know, you have to really look for it. And so yeah, so we're gonna do a toner, the T. What do we get? The T14, T16, T14, T14, I think. Yeah, T14, Wella T14 toner for her hair. So somebody asked, how is Misha? She's fine. She hangs out with the pups all the time.
She's like a babysitter for them.
Yeah, she's like a babysitter. She's gotten a lot better about her energy levels, which is pretty awesome. So yeah, definitely. Let me see. Can you do a tutorial on how to do a live stream on your phone, please?
She's not doing one on her phone.
Yeah, I typically use my computer. I'm actually using a Logitech webcam right now. So so anyway, yeah. My eyeshadow palette, I'm using I'm using a ColourPop one, actually, funny enough, that I really like with the red hair. And so, yeah. So unfortunately, the little rabbit, he did not make it. We didn't want to do a video about it, because it was really hard for Savannah. She cried. She put so much into it. And unfortunately, just like literally out of nowhere.
It was within like a few hours.
Literally within a few hours, he just went downhill.
And the only thing I can think of is that he didn't get the right bacteria that his mother would have.
Yeah. So we looked into it, and they basically said that there's these very specific bacteria that they need, and I guess he didn't get them, and unfortunately, he didn't make it. And I know how critical that people can be online, and I know how controversial that whole comment section was about the whole snake thing, like all the snake people. They're just like, oh my God, how dare you take the snake's food away? And my daughter is, she's 15 years old. She is a sensitive person. She's a very giving and loving person. And I didn't want to expose her to the nonsense and the brutality that the internet has to offer. But you guys are asking to live stream, whatever, but I mean, I told Savannah, like, the truth of the matter is the point was to not have him kind of suffer in that way, because it wasn't a quick thing like it was with the other ones. This little bunny this snake was not, it wasn't a quick thing. So the point was to end, was to not have him suffer in that way. And he didn't suffer. So I told Savannah, like, that's
away with like a full belly. And
yeah, he passed away with a full belly. So I mean, in peace. And for us, that's what's important. And she did a wonderful job. She was very aware of the fact that it was a very difficult thing to do. I tried my best to prepare her for the fact that it may not end well, that these things do happen. Even with puppies, it can happen. When you're dealing with very young life, very fragile life like that, things can happen. It was still hard, because I think that when you're responsible for taking care of something, you do get attached. Even if you try not to, you do get attached.
Like, it's even hard whenever we like whenever, because we have our puppies for so long, even like we're just like, oh, okay. I mean, we're not like sad to let them go, but we still have that bond with them, kind of, but we did bury him, so he is on the property. Yeah, we buried him, and Hopper is in peace.
Yeah, he's in peace. So yeah. Somebody asked, are we still rehoming Cashmere? Yes, nothing has changed. She is going to be, she's going to be going to her new home. She'll be leaving my house on the 30th. Some pretty cool news. I don't know how what it'll be, but Trinity should be here on Sunday, actually. Trinity is Cashmere's daughter, and I'm not expecting some amazing, like, heartfelt reunion. Like, don't get me wrong, Cashmere is all business. So the Trinity might be really excited to see her mom, but her mom is going to be like, act right or get dealt with. That's Cashmere, you know what I mean? So
we'll do a foot versus Cashmere video before she goes.
Yeah, we'll do another foot video. Yeah,
I
honestly never thought that people would even like that, but yeah, she hates feet. She always has hated feet.
She hates them. She hates us touching her feet, and she hates human feet. If you put your feet underneath, like, I don't know how many of you guys like to put your feet underneath your dog to warm your feet up. She hates it with a passion. Yeah, she does. Yeah. So anyway, but Trinity will be here on Sunday, and she will get to, at least see her mom. And I, the only thing I think is beneficial to that, the only thing that I think is beneficial to that is that at least she will get to see her mom. I don't think the puppies tend to love their mothers more than the mothers love their puppies at this age when they're older. But I think that it'll be nice for her to at least see her, kind of like, interact with her a little bit before she does go home. I will show you guys Pascal.
Yeah.
He's such a cutie.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll do video of Cashmere before she leaves, so you don't have to worry about that. Is it going to be hard? Absolutely. It's very hard. In fact,
Y'all better quiet down.
It's something that I kind of went back and forth on, but I do believe that that's kind of where you get into like hoarder territory, is where you let your emotions run you, and you hold on when you know that you should let go. And if I kept every single dog in my program that I had a personal attachment to, I would never be able to keep any offspring. I wouldn't be able to continue to grow as a program. Or I would have to like have all my dogs out in kennels where they don't actually get any time with me, and that's not fair either. So it sucks for me, but it's best for her.
She'll enjoy it.
She will enjoy it. She will be happy, and ultimately, that's why I make those kinds of decisions.
Thank you, Julian.
Because I want them to be happy. So, thank you, Julian.
She'll know that Cashmere's her mom.
Oh yeah, she'll know that's her mom, no doubt. And Cashmere will know that's her daughter. The only thing is that Cashmere oftentimes doesn't care so much.
So big, you guys.
Look at that. Look at the baby.
Look at Enzo looking at the baby.
Look at the baby Pascal. Your baby Pascal.
Pascal does have great genetics. I mean, he's got great genetics behind him. So
no, don't bite the puppy. Don't you bite the puppy.
Thank you, Jeff.
Oh, thank you, Jeff. Your cutie puppy. Look at his face, you guys. Oh, your boo-boo.
He's so cute.
Oh, your puppy.
Oh, Blair, we haven't seen her. Oh, that's so mean.
Don't, Savannah.
I didn't see it. No, it's fine.
It's not. Don't worry about people like that, okay? Don't worry about people like that. They want the attention, Savannah.
I will say their username is pretty bad.
That kind of meanness, that has no, you know that's not true. You know that's not true.
I just want the puppy.
Yeah.
Hi.
So anyway, some people just enjoy being mean. That's all. Cashmere, seriously, cut it out. She's being so dramatic right now.
He's so cute. It makes you want to like just squish love. Oh, you got a snotty nose.
Okay.
Look at snotty nose, Mama. Do you see that? Look at that.
Oh. Ew, he's got milk coming out of his nose.
Ew.
Yeah, he
ate too much.
Yeah. That's true. Once the puppies once they start squeaking or stop squeaking, she's over it. Mad Mardigan, he's doing really good. He's huge. I actually went and weighed him yesterday, and he was like 88 pounds. I will say I do keep him very, very slim compared to like, you know, I was like comparing him to like puppies that I produced out of Nirvana's litter, and we'll see. You know what I mean? We'll see. I know he's going to be really big, but weight wise, like for example, Nirvana weighed 77 pounds. So she's really not far behind him. They're the same age, but he looks substantially bigger than her, which is interesting. So
we won't be answering any questions about him.
Who?
Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, we're not going to answer any questions about Bruce Wayne. That's not my dog. I'm not going to. I don't. If I was to say anything, it would become YouTube drama, and believe me, I've had my fill of internet drama for the week. So.
Oh, baby.
Chicken. You eating my hair? Oh, you better quit eating my hair. You better quit eating my hair, Enzo.
He likes her hair, you guys. You can tell.
He likes my hair.
So, how can the female dog tell if a male has cheated? It's kind of obvious to a lot of males. Or females. Cashmere specifically, she can smell the female.
So the question is, how can a female dog tell? Easily scent, smell. There are like jokes about like about people doing this to one another, but she can smell the female on his manly parts. She knows, like, whenever I bring a female over here for breeding, she can smell the female. She can smell her in the house. She can smell her secretions. She can smell, like, they all go to the bathroom outside. She can smell her, the chemicals outside, which indicate that she's in heat. And then she's not stupid. A lot of people don't give dogs enough credit, really animals in general enough credit. And she can then smell it on, she can smell it on the male. So yeah, absolutely. In fact, the video that I have where I talk about that, you'll see her, like, they kind of knock him down, which if you watch my channel long enough, you'll know that they don't act like that with Preacher. And immediately she was smelling his stuff. So it was quite obvious. Although I have had people laugh and say that it was stupid and foolish and blah, blah, blah. But these are people that, these are the kind of people that would probably say, like, animals don't have emotions. You know what I mean?
Cashmere saw lipstick on Preacher, and that's how she knew.
Yeah. I mean, like, so for example, right? How, like, I don't know if you guys ever watched this documentary with the zebra. It's really sad, but like, so a new stallion came in to a zebra herd, and this one mare had already been pregnant, and they went the whole trip or whatever, and she's been with this new stallion, and then she had it, and he ran up and just killed it, destroyed it. And she was like trying her best to defend it, but she just couldn't. And it was obvious that, he didn't want to raise, that it was the other male's offspring. There was even a jaguar female that there's a documentary on where her offspring kept getting killed. There were two different males. Basically, she lived with it like in a basically in between two males' territory. And so she would breed with one, and then the other one would come in and kill the offspring, and then vice versa, the other one would come in and kill the offspring. So what she did is she bred with both of them. That way they wouldn't kill it, and sure enough, they didn't. So
thank you, Lori May.
Yes, thank you, Lori.
Yeah, May.
Yes, thank you, Lori May. So I definitely think that people don't give animals enough credit in that regard, and that video was, to me, pretty obvious of what was going on. But some people, no matter how obvious things are in their face, they're not gonna see it, and that's just the way it is. Stallions
are aggressive.
Yes, haters are always going to hate. And it's true what you said. It's true. They whether they like it or not, they keep saying my name, and it does keep bringing people by. So I mean, I understand that there is no such thing as bad publicity. Although I will say that I never.
Thank you, Julian.
appreciated that form of advertising, I guess, you know what I mean? Like the kind of people that start drama for no reason just to get their name out there kind of thing. Like, so while I'm definitely not starting it, it is an unfortunate reality when you are a creator on YouTube. Everybody has their haters. I guess, you know, it's just the way it is. Is Velocity getting more respect since she's had a puppy? No, I wouldn't say she's getting more respect, but I will say that she is definitely more protective. Yeah, like she has no issue about getting on to people, the other dogs for getting near her the whelping box. She just will not tolerate it. So so in that regard, I would say absolutely, yeah, she definitely is getting more respect in the sense that they're staying away from the whelping box. But as far as like her position,
and Batista knows not to get near the babies. So.
Yeah, but as far as her position changing, I wouldn't say that. Bro, why are you eating my hair? Why are you eating my hair? Don't you eat my hair? Don't you eat my hair, Enzo? Are you? He's like, why aren't you talking to me? He wants the attention. Let's see here. Thank you, Twisted Nails. So yeah, so for those that didn't hear, Trinity will be coming back, I believe this Sunday, and I'm really looking forward to it. And then Kashmir will be heading back up there on the 30th. So yeah. So as far as Enzo and Trinity, you know, she should be fine. She hasn't been around birds before, but she'll learn. Are you eating my ear? You better not eat my ear. You better not eat my ear. Mushroom. Thanks for teaching me a lot on cunning corsos and ultimately helping me make the decision to have one as my service dog in the future. You are most welcome.
Thank you, Hannah.
Hannah, thank you very much. Who's the alpha now? Currently, I would say still Kashmir. I'm gonna take a wild guess and say that it's gonna be Blondie. Afterwards, she's
not much of a guess though. She's kind of
she really has taken that position right underneath her mother. So in fact, I even think that if that in time that probably Blondie may have even challenged Kashmir for it. I'm not going to say that Blondie would have attacked Kashmir for it, but I think that Kashmir would have went to reinforce it, because that's what alphas do. They constantly kind of go around and they will kind of remind everybody who's boss. And I think that Blondie would have eventually been like, actually, no, back up off me. Pretty sure, because I'd seen some moments where they had kind of like stood next to each other, and you could kind of see that Blondie was thinking about it. So yeah, I definitely think that it's entirely possible. I've heard a lot about Admiral. He's been doing really, really well, and I've been meaning to do a video on it. I've just been so busy, and I have to basically take all of her picture messages and her text messages, and I have to kind of put them into a video for you guys. And I'm not gonna lie, you guys, I've been like really not just busy, like I've been maxed out with everything that happened with Velocity, and then the constant kind of harassment that happens online, you know, and then just like the thing that shall not be named, that's named after a beer. It's just been a lot. And so I just, every little bit of free time that I get, I've really been trying to focus on just me and trying to relax. That, you know, that I just haven't had the opportunity to do it yet, but he's doing really well. And he is not washed out. And his owner just absolutely adores him and says that he's been a blessing. And also, I haven't shown you guys yet, but we got the new chicken coop, and I have built, Savannah and I stayed up literally till like 4 a.m. building that
because it was way too hot during the day.
Yeah, it's too hot to do it during the day. And so
I think today's temperature that day, I think it was like 102 maybe, and humidity was horrible.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You better quit eating my hair. You better quit eating my hair, Enzo. Enzo!
Who's the next alpha male after Preacher? There's no telling because Preacher will be here.
Yeah, Preacher will be here. There was a time when I thought that maybe he might like let Batista have it, and maybe he contemplated it, but not anymore. Not anymore.
Elizabeth,
Yeah,
I did.
not anymore. Preacher is not given that position up for anybody. So there hasn't been any fighting, but as I've told you guys before, Batista does have a tendency to get possessive over water, which is pretty ridiculous, but he does.
And so does
And so does Mad Mortigan as well. And basically, Preacher let him know in no uncertain terms that he was never to growl at him over water again. And Batista was like, "Yes, sir," and that was it. So he did not try to talk back at all. So yeah.
We have a box here, you guys.
So how will the pack react to Trinity's return? I guess we'll see. Hopefully they'll remember her. It has been a long time, I'm not gonna lie, and she was very young. And anytime you bring in a new dog, there is always gonna be, there is gonna be a kind of like a moment. But I'll show you guys how I do it. Usually I introduce the alpha first, and then I start from the most problematic dogs first. Depending. Sometimes I'll end with them. It just depends. But I like to kind of deal with them first. That way, I kind of get them out of the way. Thank you, Angela.
Do you think Trinity will have a hard time adjusting? Not playing rough like she's used to at Reese's.
I do think that there will be an adjustment period for sure. I am a little different. I like my dogs to stay at a lower energy level. So that's just because I always had pit bulls, and it was very important that the energy level remain low. So I think that that there will be a bit of a learning curve there. But I do believe that she will definitely. She's a smart girl, and I think that she'll learn to go with our to stick with our the way things are here. I think that she will learn to mesh well, if that makes sense.
Look at him looking up. What is he doing?
What are you doing, Enzo?
Enzo!
Are we looking up? He's being so funny. Oh, he pooped. He's pooping. Poop. Will you get
We're
that?
like the poop siren.
So anytime he poops, we're trying to train him what the word is so that we can train him.
Poop.
Oh, he's so funny. I love that sound. It's the cutest sound ever. But luckily I have a towel here.
Can I give you a kiss? I can. It's good. He's been snappy all day, you guys.
Yeah, he hasn't been in the best mood today. Yeah, not in the best mood today. And so, so we do have a surprise unboxing that I want to show you guys. Can I get a knife?
I have one for you.
Okay. So do you want to cut it?
It's a little bit chewed up by the dog.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Do you want to cut it into it?
I will cut into it.
Okay.
Without you seeing.
Yeah, he will poop anywhere on anyone right now, y'all. He is not potty trained right now.
If we didn't want him to poop on us, we would leave him like in his cage, which is unreasonable.
Are you poopy boy? Are you poopy boy, Enzo?
Oh good. Oh boy.
Mm-mm.
Oh gosh. That was my interpretation of a New York cat.
Mm-hmm.
If I get mad at one of the dogs, I sometimes use a New York accent.
I love the chicken coop. Yes.
Okay, you guys.
I will say that I do have to make it bigger. I mean, it's a good size, but I do have to. Let me see. But I do have to. I do have to.
We got a black pizza.
I'm gonna back this up.
We got a black pizza.
I do have to make a bigger run. So.
Well, there's a letter.
There's a. Well, they can't see it.
Here, let me turn y'all down a little bit.
Okay. So.
What is that?
Congratulations On your subscriber milestone, we are honored to take part in recognizing your achievement and want your experience to be exceptional.
Thank you, Russ.
This award was inspected and packaged with great care by Rick. Thank you, Rick. All right, so let's move it here. Here, will you pick it back up? Because I'm going to lose my bird if I'm not careful here.
Yes,
He's going to fall down.
Real quick.
All righty.
Wow, it's funny. Okay, anyways, I guess
here.
you'll read it.
Okay, so you've just done something that very few YouTubers accomplish. You had an astonishing 100,000 people subscribe to your channel. We know that numbers on YouTube can get really big, but we hope that you don't lose sight of the reality behind the 6-digit milestone. Each and every person who has subscribed to your channel has been touched by what you created. They were inspired, challenged, or entertained. You achieved this milestone with hard work, perseverance, and probably a healthy sense of humor too. What you've accomplished can't be taken away from you, and we'd like to recognize you and all your work with this Silver Creator Award, a small token of our esteem and respect. We know that you don't do this for rewards. You do it because you have a drive to create and share. And because you found an audience who cares. Believe us when we say that we can't wait to see what you do next. A million subscribers may seem far off right now, but you're closer than you think, and we're rooting for you. Congratulations. Okay. Susan. I'm not going to butcher her last name because I will.
Here we go.
So, you guys. And
now you can see yourself.
Yay.
They can see themselves.
Look, you guys.
Got her name on.
Look, you guys. Senza tempo, cane corso. Woo, 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 woo. Yeah.
This is thanks to you guys.
Yep. And this is, like I said, this is thanks to you guys. You guys are awesome. Wouldn't have it without you. And you know, many thanks for being here, for being a part of the channel, for helping us get to this point.
Thank you.
Like I said, we're nothing without you guys.
Susie
Q. Yeah, thank you, Susie Q.
Susie Q.
Yeah. So we're really excited. What do you think, Enzo? Yeah. What do you think, Enzo?
What do you think?
What do you think?
What do you think?
What do you think, Enzo?
Let me say some more.
He's so adorable, you guys. I love his little sounds. Oh, you're taking my bra strap, boy.
Oh, boy.
Oh, he's trying to take off. Look at you. What are you doing eating my hair?
He's tasting his.
He likes it.
Preacher's snoring underneath Mom.
Yeah, Preacher's under my feet snoring. Sorry about that, you guys. Yeah. Oh my God. Really? Really, Enzo?
Are you Mom's new stylist?
Really, Enzo? Ooh!
He'll get those ends off.
You're falling, bro. Ooh. Where are you going, Enzo? Ooh, where are you going? He's totally in my hair.
I'm holding his head. Thank you,
Shay. I think there were some questions that we missed. Let me see here. Rough explosion. I respect and appreciate everything you do. Keep up the great work and stay safe. Thank you. And you are most welcome. Did he bite you? Oh Lord. Did you bite Enzo?
I was petting.
Did you bite Enzo? You want to step up? Step up. Oh, he bit me. Step up. Step up. Step up.
Angry.
He's angry.
He's a little angry. We're gonna have to put him on his perch because he's being a lion.
Were you angry? Are you angry, Enzo?
Perch time.
Enzo, say hi. Look at you. Say hi.
Hi.
Enzo.
Hi.
Say hi. Hi. I know. Say hi.
No, say hi.
Say hi.
Hi.
Oh, you're not gonna say hi? Here,
hi.
Step up. Oh. What was that? What was that? Huh? What was that?
Hi.
Do you see yourself?
Hi.
Do you see yourself? He's like, no. What was that? What was that, Enzo? Why are you blowing on him? Do you see yourself?
Thank you.
Do you see yourself, Enzo?
C major.
I know. Here. You want to step up? You step up?
Or it said be step down, right?
Or yeah, step down. Yeah. All right. So
he's
he's on his perch, you guys.
I'll put him kind of behind them a little bit so y'all can see him. Oh, there we go. Y'all can see him now.
Yeah, now you can see him.
The equivalent of him being up here.
Yeah. Thank you, C Major. Okay, so anyway, so I just wanted to.
He's biting your chair.
He's biting. Are you biting my chair, Enzo? Are you biting my chair? Do you think you can make a coffee?
I can make a coffee.
A coffee?
A coffee?
A coffee?
A coffee?
A coffee?
A coffee.
Okay.
Here, I'll let you look.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. That's so cute. Her brother's gray whistled. Yeah, that's super cute. That's.
What
was that about?
Silly dog.
Or is it just the puppies out there?
It's just the puppies out there.
Okay. Okay.
And Batista, but he's fine.
Oh Lord Jesus, Savannah has the puppies out with Batista. He's teaching them bad habits right now. I guarantee it.
Petting Enzo on the back.
Don't you stimulate that bird, Savannah?
Oh, he
Yeah.
said no.
Don't you stimulate that bird?
Just pet that neck. He says no.
That's his like new sound. He didn't used to do that sound.
At all. Never.
Yeah, he did not use. That's like a new one.
I'm plug this into. I'm gonna have to plug one of these lights.
Don't you dare unplug my light, Savannah.
I have to unplug one of them.
Why is that light? That light right there is like booming right now.
Hold on.
Booming.
Let me get this fixed. No.
Oh wow, horrible.
I'm gonna have to adjust the lighting a lot too.
Whoa, my God. Whoa.
My fault.
Savannah is
I think it would be.
she's having a hard time adjusting. Will you bring it down just a touch? That's good. That's good. That's good. Make it a little bit more white. Oh, my butt. You guys, whenever I was making the
coop.
Whenever I was making the coop, I had to like keep bending down and stuff, and oh my God, my legs. They're so sore.
It's the equivalent of doing squats all night.
Yeah, it's the equivalent of doing squats all night.
Unless you've done squats all night and we're like saying the wrong thing.
Yeah,
Sorry,
exactly.
guys.
Yeah, unless you've done squats all night.
Is it too bright?
It's okay. I kind of tried to move it
I have to unplug it for now to make your coffee.
a little bit. Yeah, she has to unplug it to make the coffee. Thank you, Mushroom.
Mushroom?
I don't know.
Whoa.
Oh, did she try to beat you up? Did she try to beat you up? Okay, so my super chats keep going away too fast, but thank you for educating and helping me decide on having a future Corso as my future service dog. That's awesome. That's super cool. Super cool. I don't know what you're using them for, but you know what? If they're able to do the job, that's all that matters. You know, Corso are able to do a lot of jobs. So I would just make sure that when you start looking for yours, just let your breeder know exactly what you're looking for. And you probably want to be high up on the list so that you can get a really good idea on the temperament that you're getting. Women. I don't have a towel. I don't have a towel yet. No, I have to put a towel up. Hold on.
Come up here. Not on me.
The one thing I don't want is poop in my hair. Everything else I can do, not poop in my hair.
All right, step down. Step down. No. Step down on Mama.
Oh my God, what was that, Enzo? What was that? You're a funny boy. Okay, so how's the bird training doing? It's like okay. We're kind of like just spending time with him. We have him out with us all the time. We just kind of have him with us. We don't really have a lot of expectations for him as far as like doing behaviors and stuff like that. Mostly we just want him to be happy and able to interact with us. That's just most of what's important to us. We are trying to do like the poop thing. So we do tell him, you know, like when he does go poop, you know, you'll hear us say poop, poop, because we're trying to get him to understand that. But ultimately we're not, you know, we have no real requirements for him other than for him to just be happy and just to hang out with us and to just kind of be a part of our family. He definitely can
be edgy.
Yeah, he can be edgy. And which of course he's a parrot and a gray. And he is not at all afraid of the dogs. Tells them what to do without hesitation. We'll try to bite them
Yes, you saw that in the puppy too. He was like,
yeah,
hey, what's up?
yeah. He has no fear. No fear.
He does not like mangoes, you guys. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Like...
Give him the green bits that we've been giving him. I can't remember the name right now. You know, the green bits.
Ooh, the lettuce.
Not the lettuce. What? Where are you going?
Where are you leaving?
Yeah. Okay. So, can you steal Enzo?
No.
Good luck. I'm not sure that he would want to go. Yeah, he's very possessive. So Beth, I count 63 days from the date of the first breeding. I'd rather early than late, as far as I'm concerned.
He dropped it on you. He said, nope, I don't want this. He doesn't like a lot of sweet things. We've heard of that too. He's not a sweet eater.
Coffee smells so good.
That's a regular, whatever it's called. I almost said irregular.
Okay, so thank you, Cole.
Spoon.
Savannah, it's okay, Enzo. It's okay, baby. She's a button pusher, you guys. She is a button pusher. Yes, NC Rot, yes, we can definitely see you. How many times has Savannah been bitten already? We've both been bitten quite a few times. I think the people, you know, like young parrots, they're gonna bite. And the thing is, they don't bite very hard. And that's just kind of how they communicate. Is make sure they don't hit up against the house. So kind of, I will say that, like, you shouldn't necessarily tolerate the biting. Like, you don't want to like continue to let them bite. Yeah. But what we do with him when he's particularly edgy and he's in a nasty mood, we actually take him and we put him on his perch, or we'll put him in his cage, and we'll ignore him for a little bit. And it basically teaches him that if he wants to be out with us, and if he wants to be with his flock, that he's going to need to behave himself. He definitely does destroy toys, which is a good thing. You want them to do that. You want them to destroy their toys.
He specifically in the last few days, while he's been practicing his vocals, because it has been in the last few days, he hangs from his toys and screams.
Yeah, it's been pretty cute. Yeah, it's been pretty cute. So yeah. But he's been learning a lot. Thank you, Heather. So let's see. How is Pascal doing being the only child? Oh my God. He is so cute. You know how it's like whenever maybe some of you may know this or not, but like you have your first child, and the grandparents have been waiting forever for that baby, and like basically that baby's feet never hit the floor. That's how it's been with Pascal. You know what I mean? When he's not eating or sleeping, he's in our arms. He's in my bed. He's laying with me. He is so adorable. And what I find interesting is that he has so much more personality at this age than I've ever seen in a puppy. So babies, like Savannah when she was a baby, and I love babies, like, so they're very happy. And so like when you play with them and they have these big smiles and they like look up at you with these big smiles, and he will literally do that. Like you give him little kisses, and you tickle him, and he just has his mouth open wide and he's happy, and it's super cute. Is he pooping? Are you pooping? Poop. Yeah, sorry, we have to do that. Poop. Yeah.
Poopy Enzo.
Don't worry, it's on the towel. That's what it's for.
He looks a little offended. It's like, are you calling me?
So anyway, yeah. So funny stuff. He's super cute. Like, yeah. I pray every day that I get to keep him because I'm so attached to him. But
Lord, this coffee's doing bad things.
But unfortunately, I'm just gonna have to deal with whatever happens. You know what I mean? If he doesn't end up if he doesn't end up being breed quality, there's really nothing I can do. But I will say that if he doesn't get to stay, whoever gets him is a really blessed person because
I wish you
he's
could just give him to your,
such a
to your
cutie.
sister.
He's such a great dog. I can't. As
Yeah.
much as I would love to give him to my sister, there were people on the Velocity litter. So basically, if I don't end up keeping him, then the person who has first pick mail will get a notification from me that they have basically the option to purchase him. And then if for whatever reason they don't want him or can't take him right now, then it goes to the next person and so forth. So,
but her sister really wants a Corso.
I'm surprised that he likes this so much. I mean, I love it, but yeah.
Preacher really was that. That's quite the snore.
It says our connection is unstable. Our connection is unstable. Yeah, the internet is not the funnest.
It's like.
All right. Yes, I am going to breed Belladonna and, or pardon me, I am going to breed Velocity and Batista again for sure and for certain.
I will say I was expecting it to be a lot heavier and thicker.
So, yeah.
But it's very pretty. It's got a reflection.
Yeah.
Look, that's you guys. That's you. It's you.
What is that?
Velocity.
Oh my God, is that Velocity back there chirping?
Yes.
Oh, so funny story. He has actually started to imitate Velocity.
Enzo, yes. Enzo
Enzo has. Of all of the dogs, he's imitating Velocity, the Velociraptor. It's
pretty, and he sounds like
pretty
a baby
funny.
crying sometimes too.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Yeah, Batista is getting the action. He's also going to be bred to Belladonna as well. So yeah.
Do you think that the diamond play button has an actual diamond in it?
No, it doesn't.
Not the gold one. Do you think they just color it gold?
I think it's just colored gold.
And then this one's just a fake diamond, like the little ones on Kids Story.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest with you guys. Like, I never, ever, 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 ever thought that I would get one of these. Not ever. Like, not because I didn't, like, not after I built I'm just saying, like, I never thought that I would ever have a YouTube channel. I watched YouTube for years before I ever had a channel. You know what I mean? Loved YouTube. In fact, I still to this day, YouTube is probably my primary source of entertainment.
And Disney Plus for the documentary, the nature documentary.
Look at your pretty face.
Look
at your pretty face. No. Savannah, woman, if you don't cut it out.
Oh, he doesn't like sugar.
Yeah, you're out your mind. She's trying to give him my pair of sugar, y'all. I'm over here trying to give him greens, and she's over here trying to give him sugar. Okay.
I'm the one that spoils him. I'm the spoiling grandmother.
But yeah, so when Belladonna goes back into heat, she will be bred with Batista, and Trinity will also be bred to Batista. Velocity will be bred to Batista.
Our big man is getting.
Yeah, he's gonna be
a baby daddy.
Yeah, he's gonna be big man on campus. Unfortunately, we just can't do anything with Preacher right now, so we there's nothing we can do about that.
Velocity, stop.
And then trying to think of what else. When Mad Mortigan gets old enough, we'll have him health tested. And then so long as he passes all of his health certifications, at that point, then we will start scheduling him for breedings. I've had so many people want to put deposits on his first litter. And I just tell people, like, look, I don't even know that I'm breeding him yet. He has to pass all of his health certifications before I can even talk about breeding him. So unfortunately, that's just kind of what it is. Good night, NC Rot.
Have you guys checked out our TikTok?
Oh God, Savannah and her, y'all, please subscribe to Savannah's TikTok.
It's not subscribing, it's just following.
Okay, following her TikTok. I don't know anything about it. I'm not on TikTok.
Yeah, to all you haters that like to hate on us on her TikTok, I'm the one managing that, so like I don't care. But I do care. Like, I'm gonna delete it and I'm gonna block you. So just know that you're talking to a 15-year-old girl.
Yeah.
Not
that they would care, because
Yeah.
they're not the kind of people that actually have morals.
Yeah.
But yeah. Don't you bite my ear, Enzo. Oh, don't you bite my ear.
It's kind of like behind the scenes, kind of, from Savannah's perspective.
Yeah, she loves the TikTok. I feel like an old lady that like just saw the internet for the first time. You know what I mean? Got no concept on how it works. I don't know anything about it. But she loves it. And you know, they're cute. She showed me them and they're cute. So I can't complain.
I'll show you guys it.
So
go follow this right here. Hold on. It's not going to focus, is it? Y'all guys can't really see that. It's Senza_tempo_kame_corso.
Are you still messing with my hair, Enzo?
I got him. He likes me. He doesn't like it, but he lets me put his up.
Yeah.
Oh. He's got hair. Your hair all over him, Mom.
Is he really pulling it out?
Some of it. Let me see.
Oh my God.
Oh wait, no, it's stuck.
Okay, good.
To your head.
It's still connected to my head, y'all. He's not tearing it down.
His eye.
Yeah. So Savannah's all about TikTok. When she was younger, I used to have to like get her off the TikTok.
She's like, don't be on TikTok.
It wasn't TikTok at the time. It was something else.
It was
Musically, and I did not like it. I'm not gonna lie. I did not like it. It wasn't what it is now.
It was kind of just a platform where people were like, here.
It was just young girls dancing provocatively, which personally,
you still get that sometimes.
Which I did not approve of. I did not want my daughter on there. In fact, I called them. No, I emailed them, and I was like, my daughter is 12 years old. You will delete this whole account. She does not have my permission. I went full mama bear, but
I was only 12 though. So
but yeah, I mean, you know, am I gonna get any more dogs colored like Blondie? Hopefully not. And the reason why is because that's a dominant hair color as in hair color. It's a dominant coat color. So if you're not careful when you're breeding blonde dogs, or what we call fawn dogs, you can end up with a whole bunch of them. So yeah, personally, while I love Blondie and I love Nirvana, you do have to be careful because you can end up with way too many fawn dogs if you're not careful, unfortunately. Let's see here. No, I promise you, he's not pulling out my hair. If he was pulling out my hair, y'all, he would be up on that perch. Okay, let me just be very clear. I love my hair. I'm all about long hair. I don't let nothing come in between me and my long hair. So, you know, yeah. As far as my Rachel, will you rehome your males when they retire? No, and that's because males really technically don't retire. I mean, they can if you choose to retire them. If the individual says, I don't want to use that male anymore. But me personally, the only way that I would retire a male is if he couldn't produce good pups. So like sometimes you'll hear the word proven in the breeding community, and that can mean different things to different people. Some people think that proven means that he's got a show title or a working title and has good genetics. For me, a proven male is a male that has proven that he can produce good offspring. Luckily, you know, so far from what I've seen from this puppy in here, you know, he's a really good looking puppy, but there's no telling if Batista doesn't, you know, have good offspring, then, you know, maybe he would be retired, but I highly doubt that that'll be the case. I know the lines that he comes from. And I think that that's important when you're dealing with males, is that that's a big reason why you really, you never want to skimp on your male. Males can really need to be very top notch. And so, you know, like Preacher he consistently produces really nice puppies. So for me, especially really healthy puppies. So for me, you know, Preacher's a proven dog to me. He hasn't really been put to the test yet by being put with a really Batista. No.
Enzo's even watching. Like...
Yeah, Batista's up on my window. He's being a bad dog. So anyway, so yeah, so let's just say hypothetically that that I bought a male that just could not produce good offspring, then yes, I would retire him and he would be rehomed because I have very limited space. And it's for us, it's more quality over quantity. But hopefully I don't have to do that, because for me, my heart is in my dogs. It's very hard for me to rehome a dog. It's very painful for me. I don't like to have to do it. And so for me, my kind of like my area where I don't give in is with my males. I keep my males. I need to be able to maintain a bond with some of my animals. And there are breeder friends of mine, mentors of mine that laugh at me over that, and because they see it as that I'm limiting myself by kind of keeping certain dogs. Because when you keep a dog back, that's one less dog you can bring in. And you're always going to be producing really nice dogs, and other people are going to be producing nice dogs. So, but for me, the way I see it is I can always use other people's studs. If I really want to use another dog, if I see another nice male out there, I can always use the stud. You know what I mean? It doesn't limit me. And I just need to be able to fully bond and freely love some of my dogs in the way that you can't really do with the females, because while I do love them, there's always the knowledge that they don't get to stay. You know what I mean? If I kept every single dog in my program, I'd be a dog hoarder. So in the females, they do have, like it's been proven, just like a woman in her 40s start to lose fertility, dogs around 5 years old start to lose fertility. So there's no reason to continue to breed a female, for her whole life or whatever. It's for me, for an average female, I retire them at around 4 years old. If I had a really, really, really special female, pardon me, I think the oldest I would ever breed a dog is like 6 years old, which is really pushing it. And after that, I would still retire them, because I personally don't want to just keep breeding a dog like that. I would rather retire them and let them get to live, really the word retirement, you know what I mean? Like get to, like all of us, when we get old, we get to retire. We stop working, right? You get to just enjoy being alive. That is what I want for my dogs. I want them to be able to retire and enjoy being alive. And for me, like if you work at an office full of 20 people, you know how it is, right? Like the work place and the drama and the blah, blah, blah. Well, it's no different than me having all these dogs, right? When people retire, they don't stay in the workplace. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't make sense for me to keep these females in that way. The males, like I said, it's different because they are the males and there's less of them. And I do a lot more with them. I take them out. I do a lot of stuff with them. The females, not so much, just because of social stigma. A lot of people, when they see a female that has been bred, there's a lot of animosity and judgment. And I get enough of that as it is being a persona online. I really don't want to have that in my day-to-day. And I already get quite a bit of it because I crop the ears. And, they're just big dogs. Some people just are like, oh my God. So bringing a female out that has clearly been bred is just not something that I do. I'm just not going to do it. And so it just makes more sense to go ahead and allow them to, retire in a family home, because they don't get the same quality that the males get, unfortunately. So yeah. So rarest coat color in the Corso. No. Okay. So I would say the rarest color that you'll see, which is not, it is known that it is a real color, but it is not accepted in the standard, would be straw. There are people that breed for straw. Personally, I think that that's wrong, because it's not in our standard. It's a DQ color, which means disqualification. But historically, it has been known to show up. So I would say that that's like the rarest color that you'll see in a Corso. They typically have brown eyes, a black nose, usually no mask, which is where you get the straw from, because if they had a mask, then they would just be fawn. And well, sometimes they can be so light that it's almost like a white. But anyway, straw is probably the rarest color that I personally would consider. There are some other colors that can pop up, but having said that, I don't even think that those are even as rare as straw is. So yeah. You see. Good night, Audra. A mask is the pigmentation around the nose and up the face a bit. That's what we call a mask. No, Samantha, I do not know which female yet. I've been waiting on video of the females. I did get some updated video of them, and if I'm being honest, I think I'm most likely going to go with the brindle female. They both have qualities that are good, but the brindle female has qualities that I need in my program. So she's long in the body. She's not square, which some of my dogs are square. Some of them are not, but having a good length in the body is less common in the Corso right now. So I think that it should be more valued and more sought after. She also has really good rear angulation, which is something that I personally like. I have some of it. I don't have a lot of it. So I think that's also important for me. And she has a really good upper arm. It's not, there was one other puppy in the litter that was better, but in that area, but in other areas not. Her head is not as strong as the black female. It is still a good head, but I do believe that the black females is probably closer to the standard. The brindle female has a head more like her father. And the brindle female is slightly larger, but not enough for it to even to be considered as part of the equation. And so the top lines are great on both of them, but considering, the rear angulation, she also has really good forechest, the brindle female, really good forechest. And so all of these qualities combined for me, especially with the male that I'm going to be using her with, which is Preacher, I really need her to be strong in those areas because Preacher he is square. He has a lack of rear angulation. It's not horrible. He's not like super straight, but it could definitely be better. His chest is good. He has a decent upper arm, decent forechest. He produces really good fronts as well. Top line is okay. It's his croup that's actually not good. His croup is short and steep, and this female has a really good croup. So I really think that the brindle female is going to be better suited for Preacher, and that's what's most important to me because in the long run, Preacher, as many of you know, or you don't know, he's already 4 years of age. These dogs, they just get, time goes fast, you know what I mean? And, pretty soon he'll be 5. And, it's really important to me to find a good male, hopefully a son of his, to kind of carry on in his footsteps. And so in order to do that, though, I have to breed Preacher to a really solid female with really solid lines for structure. If I'm going to be able to have his male be a good producer, as we talked about, being able to produce good offspring. So I'm really hoping that this particular female that I'm bringing in is going to be a good pair, as well as Vitani. I have very high hopes for Vitani as well. So yeah, long answer, sorry. Let me see. Remy, the service dog. Am I worried about Batista's back legs being too straight, his hind end being too tall? So Batista is a puppy. He's only about 1.5 years old. And it's really best not to judge a puppy like that. You know what I mean? You want to wait until they're grown. His rear is not high. He actually has a really good top line. His back legs, the issue with his back legs is that he has a really long upper thigh. And so it actually kind of takes away from his reangulation. So he shortened the hock. With him, what's most important to me is what he produces, right? So sometimes when you purchase from a really top breeder, they're not going to sell you their best dogs, period. They're just not going to. And the people that I buy from will, in fact, I don't know that they've ever actually done a full repeat breeding because they're highly competitive. And so they don't want people having their really nice dogs. So sometimes you have to take the dog that isn't as nice, knowing that the genotype is there. And that's kind of what is up with Batista. He's actually a really nice dog, has a really great front. When he's stacked out, he looks phenomenal, but his rear he's very long in the thigh, very short in the hock. It isn't a concern to me. And I do think that when he matures, that will actually get a lot better. It has gotten a whole lot better just from him getting to where he is now at 1.5 years. But his genotype is what's most important to me with him. So, you know, as long as he produces really well, that's the only thing that matters to me. But only time will tell what he ends up maturing into. So, yeah. Let's see here. Thank you, David. So yeah, Fuli, I do have a Facebook group where I do talk about structure. I try to help people the best that I can on that kind of stuff. It's not for training advice. Facebook is not, for me personally, Facebook is one of the worst places to talk about training because there's a lot of fur mommy, fur daddies on there that they don't believe in all different kinds of training. They basically believe in treats for everything. And so I just don't. Remy, the service pup, if he doesn't mature, are you rehoming him? No. The only way that I would rehome Batista is if he did not produce good puppies. So yeah. Thank you, Lydia Page. I really appreciate it. And you're most welcome, for the channel. Shay T, yeah, likewise. I'm personally not a big Facebook fan. The only reason that I created that group is because I kept getting so many people messaging me about how horrible they were being treated by other breeders and for trying to just ask for basic information. And so as much as I don't like Facebook, I thought to myself, if I don't do this, who's going to at this point? You know what I mean? Facebook has a culture of bullying, and it's okay. It's often glorified, and they just love it. You know, they just have these hate groups, and they're, from what I had seen, was not a safe place for people to ask questions without being criticized and bullied. And I thought, as much as I don't like Facebook, and I'm not always on that group, I'll be honest with you. I try to get on as much as I can, but I don't really make it a habit of spending a lot of time on Facebook. But I will get on there. I do have very strict rules. I do have moderators that are there, and we do try to help the best we can. Oh, you poop. Did you poop? Poop, poop, poop. Will you get that?
Yes, I will.
Poop. Okay. So, let's see here. Thank you, Shay. What are my thoughts on Victoria Stilwell?
Oh, rude.
Did he bite me over you doing that? I'm not a fan of Victoria Stilwell. I've talked about her before. She's basically just an actress. The transition to Farmina has been excellent. I'm going to be doing a video on it. I just haven't had the time lately, but I did switch all my dogs over to Farmina. I love it. I think it's amazing. I want to get some bullet points, and I also have been doing some research on European law versus American law on dog food, because I really want to go into not just how great Farmina is, but also just the differences in why they why these issues that were happening in America were not happening in Europe. Like the cardiomyopathy thing, it didn't happen in Europe. It only happened here. So, yeah, so I really want to research a lot more about that so that I can do a more complete video for you guys. And you know me, I like to be as well researched as possible, have all of my facts, all of my sources. So as soon as I get that sorted, I'll have that video out.
Good Lord.
Do you mind?
Yeah, I'll get him. Dogs, I swear. They're a little crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do your mom.
Okay, so let's see here. There was a question up here. Yes, AFCO is a total joke. Hey, quiet down, Batista. Cut it out. Sorry, I had to get Will you just bring him in?
Yeah. Oh, Lord, I'm working. Get off the door.
Ooh. Now I sound like Enzo. Ooh.
Get back.
Is spaying your females necessary? It is to me, unless you want pyometra and an increased rate of mammillary cancer, then you know I would definitely do it.
Careful, be careful. Don't let him knock anything over. Lord. Hey, quit! No, goofing around, boy. Hey, quit your goofing. He's a goofer.
Batista, really, bro?
Goofer.
Really, bro? Really?
Lord, goofer.
Oh, Batista.
Goofer.
Yeah, he's so dramatic. Savannah,
Oh.
do you mind putting Enzo up for me?
Yeah,
Because he's going to sleep anyway.
Come here, boy.
This is
Step up.
No, I'm not gonna give him a kiss. I don't trust parrots around my lips. I've seen too many pictures of people with busted lips.
We're gonna give him a little pet then.
Okay, so I don't like to neuter male dogs. The only reason that I believe in spaying is because of pyometra. Originally, I would talk about doing the ovary saving spay, but then I did some research and found out that regardless of the ovary saving spay, the hormones themselves without breeding, without puppies nursing, leaves the females at a higher risk of mammillary cancer. So unfortunately, you know, it didn't seem to be the better deal, unfortunately. No, I'm never going to get rid of Blondie because she is Savannah's dog.
She's my baby.
Mm-hmm.
If she ever goes anywhere, it's with me.
Yeah. Really, Batista? What are you doing? What are you doing, Biggin? What are you doing, Biggin? What are you doing? Come here. Come say hi. Come here. Come on.
Oh Lord.
What are you doing, big old dog? Get off me, punk. Get off me, punk.
Goofer.
Kisses on the nose.
Goofer.
Kisses on the nose.
Goofer.
Little baby. What is the big old baby? Oh, the big old dog. Oh, the big old dog. Yeah, he's a big old boy. He's a big old boy. Did you say hi to the YouTubes? Did you say hi to YouTube? Was that you? Is that you on the screen? Do you see it? Do you see that? What's that, Batista? Is that you? Such a big old brute.
Oh,
yeah, he's a big old dude.
Ow.
And that's why we haven't given up on him as far as like structure yet. And not to say that we would, but my point though is he is such a massive dog that you're not going to see what he's going to be for a long time. Thank you, 636 Dog World. I really appreciate it. Yeah, no, we love the big Batista man with all of his goofiness. And yes, he does, Samantha. He does look like that. He is funny. Shay T, thank you very much. Let's see here. Somebody asked, what if your dog has epilepsy? Would you have to neuter him too? You know, I'm not sure. You would have to ask a vet on whether or not it would be beneficial to neuter a dog with epilepsy or not. I mean, obviously you wouldn't want to breed that dog, but I don't know whether or not it's triggered by hormones or whether that would help or not. I haven't done any research into that. So you'd have to ask your vet or do your own research, because for the most part, any vet is going to tell you to neuter your dog because that's just what they tell you to do. They're just going to always tell you to neuter your dog. So, Leslie, yes, Admiral was rehomed. Yes, I did get Pascal's test results back. He was clear of everything. What we think is that basically because there's no other puppies nursing, that that the milk is too rich. And unfortunately, that it just is causing what's called puppy scours or scores. It's SCOURS. And it's just too rich. It's kind of like whenever, I don't know if you've ever done this, but if you've ever fed a puppy like a really, really rich food that's super high in protein, a lot of times they'll get the runs. You won't be able to get solid poops out of them. And so I think that is what's going on. It's still continuing, but he's gaining weight like crazy. There's really no, the only symptom that I don't like is the fact that he has some rawness on his hiney, but we have been putting diaper cream on it, which is what the vet said to do. I'm not moving to Oklahoma. Definitely not moving to Oklahoma.
No.
I want to move to Tennessee. Hopefully sooner rather than later. Somebody was telling me to move to Georgia today. That there was an area, like, I guess, I didn't know Georgia had mountains, but he was saying that there's mountains. Did he say Blue Ridge?
Yeah, it was Blue Ridge.
Blue Ridge, Georgia or something is where he was telling me to move to. Said that you can get a lot of property for cheap there, but we'll see. So Haley, I don't know that I'm going to breed Misha. I may not. It just depends. So I haven't gotten her papers yet. I did speak with the breeder, and she said that it had to do with the whole thing, the corona. But nonetheless, we'll see. So, I got me Super Mix with a blue nose pit one day. If God willing, I'd love to buy one of your dogs. Oh, awesome. And thank you for the donation. Mixed dogs can be a lot of fun. Blue Ridge is in Virginia too. Okay. Cole Bentley, why did I choose Nirvana over Pantera? So I chose her because Nirvana had the better rearangulation. She was longer in the body. And she just overall was the higher quality dog. And basically for every dog that I keep back, that's, less space for more genetic, variety. And, being that I want to keep a dog out of Velocity and Belladonna, it just unfortunately doesn't make sense for me to keep them both. Now, I did sell her to a woman who is interested in showing her and titling her and in breeding her. So hopefully she'll do that. She's not on a co-own, so she basically has the option to do that. She really wasn't sure what she wanted to do. So if she decides that she wants to do all of that, then that's awesome. But if not, then, she's not required to. So, so let's see here. No, Corso are not hypoallergenic. Do I think Pascal will be bigger than Preacher? I don't know. He looks very big. But I'll be honest with it just being him. Sometimes I wonder if it's just because he has access to all that food. And I don't know if if it's just that and then of course it's hard to compare him. I don't typically take my puppy weights at this age. So whenever I take him in to get his ears done at the vet, that's usually when I compare the weights. I'll know kind of where he's sizing up with the rest of them, because I know what their weights are when they go in for that. So, you know, if he weighs a lot there, then I'll know he's a big one. So, let's see here. Let's see. No, a Preacher will never be rehomed. In the same way that Blondie is Savannah's pet, Preacher is mine. He'll never go anywhere.
Same with Batista.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And I'll be honest, like, you know,
to me, I don't know. I love Batista.
Yeah,
so
we do. Yeah, we do. Well, I mean, like I said, I love the male dogs. You know what I mean? Like, love them. I allow myself to bond to them in that way. You know, in my heart, we'll never rehome a male dog. You know what I mean? They'll always be a part of our family. In fact, if I wasn't a breeder, I would not have female dogs, because I personally find them to be, I'm just not as fun. And there's a lot of people that will say this, where they'll say, if you're a woman, get a male dog. If you're a man, get a female dog. And I believe in that. Personally, I'm not as big of a fan of female dogs. I have them, but I'm not as much of a fan. Yes, Dog World. He did. Now, he didn't get to buy the gray, unfortunately. That bird sold literally. He went in that day to put the deposit down, and it had sold the day before, which is really sad. But he did get, what are they called? A kike? A kike.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, he did get a kike. Thank you, Jen and Juice. Oh my God, you hear him in there whistling? Enzo. Yeah. So anyway, which of my female dogs have the best structure? I would say Nirvana right now, for sure. I like Vitani a lot, but Vitani's actually kind of square. Not horribly so, but she is. She doesn't seem to be very big either. I wouldn't say she's small, but Nirvana is a substantial female, which is funny because I didn't pick her for size. She, and I don't think that she's the biggest in her litter either. Obviously not. But she was never the biggest in her litter. But she's a really, really, really top-notch female. Nirvana is. So yeah. Do I notice that vet education in the US is worse than the EU? Yeah, I do. The problem with, I will say, I'm not going to say that there aren't American vets that are educated. I have a really great vet that I go to, or a really great reproductive vet. The problem that I find is that in America, there's like an agenda, right? So in fact, I know a girl, in fact, Reese's sister, Morgan, is going to college to be a vet. And we've been talking about kind of her courses and education and stuff. And I don't know why, but for whatever reason, they're anti-breeder in the veterinary schools now. And I don't get it. It's kind of like being a car mechanic and being anti-vehicle, like pro public transportation. Like, why would you be against something that keeps you in business? I don't know. But the thing about it is that they basically, it's kind of like where you used to have, like, where we do have real doctors, right? But then you have these like clinics in like your grocery store, or whatever, where you can go in and you can basically see like a nurse, and, you know, and they can do a lot of like basic stuff, right? They're not going to do the really, you know, like the more specialized stuff. But if you have a cough, if you have the flu, if you have bronchitis, if you have strep throat, if you have a minor, you know, cut, scrape, whatever, blah, 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 you can go to these people, right? And they have a very kind of basic menu that they can offer to you, right? And that's how it seems a lot of vets are these days. they'll give you your heartworm pills. They'll test for heartworm. They'll test for, parasites, and they'll give you that stuff, and they'll give you your flea and tick. And, like they do very basic stuff, x-rays and like, and personally, like, I think that the quality of the care has gone down exponentially, as well as the cost has gone up. It's skyrocketed. And, like, for example, a simple cherry eye surgery. One of my customers called me, their dog has cherry eye, which is a very common thing in our breed. And it's basically where the inner eyelid prolapses out, right? Now, you have two methods of dealing with that. You can either tack it, which means you stitch it back in. You try to basically fix it, and you put it back in there and you tack it in, or you can just remove it completely. Now, some vets will say don't remove it completely because then the dog will suffer from dry eye, which is not always the case. And the problem with tacking is that oftentimes it comes back out. It's not always successful. And tacking here in America costs $1,000. Removal is $200. But in the EU, at least in Croatia and Serbia, where I have friends, it's $200 no matter what you do. No matter what you do, whichever one you choose, it's $200. Or like over here in America, if you want, like, let's just say that somebody's dog got sick and you wanted to get a CAT scan done over here in America, it's like $3,000, I think it is, something like that, which is like a scan of the brain, right? And over there, it's much less expensive. And that's because they can't price gouge over there. There isn't as much money over there to be able to, thank you, Whitney, to be able to price gouge people. And so basically what ends up happening is that more people utilize those services. And because more people utilize them, the vets have more experience in them, right? So if you never did any CAT scans, then you would never really know what's going on. Like, for example, in our breed, epilepsy is a thing, right? Everybody's always complaining about epilepsy, and they'll say dogs have epilepsy that actually don't have an actual diagnosis of epilepsy, because most people will never spend the money on all of the testing to be sure that it is in fact epilepsy. And some people, well, people can't afford that. And that may be true. Maybe people can't afford it. Just because somebody can't afford it doesn't mean that you get to put that label on it either. You know what I mean? If you're not willing to spend the money on it and do the testing, that's fine, but you also don't get to use that diagnosis. And there are vets that will. There are vets that will say, well, we don't know what it is. Like, for example, my vet basically said that Kashmir had gastritis because we tested all of this other stuff and we couldn't figure out what was wrong, right? Nothing showed up on any of her testing, right? So Kashmir actually has a diagnosis of gastritis, however, or irritable bowel syndrome. However, Kashmir doesn't have irritable bowel syndrome. She had a hormone issue that was corrected with a breeding and no longer is on any medication and is no longer symptomatic at all. But the vet was perfectly fine giving her a diagnosis of irritable bowel syndrome because basically it was kind of like the only thing that they could really come up with. You know what I mean? You could not do that with people, at least not that I've seen. You know what I mean? Like, they might treat you for something. Like, let's say that you have a lot of symptoms of the flu, but you don't actually have a positive flu test, but everything else seems right. They might prescribe you Tamiflu, but from what I've seen, they won't actually write down the flu. You know what I mean? They'll say, well, we thought it was this, we tested for this, but it was negative, but we're going to go ahead and prescribe this. But they don't necessarily give you that diagnosis. And we're just, in humans, we're more careful about just giving an unproven diagnosis. That may not always be the case, but in my life experience, that has been the case. So in the veterinary sciences, I haven't really found that to be true. I haven't found that to be accurate. And it's really unfortunate, but it's just the way it is. And I wish that people didn't price gouge in the veterinary world so that we did know more about our animals. Because if those tests were not so expensive, then more people would be able to do them. And knowing is better than not knowing, right? So, and I don't understand what makes it so expensive. Why is it that in Croatia and Serbia, they can have the same stuff done, the same methods done for a fraction of the cost of what it costs over here? I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's regulation. I don't know if it's overhead costs. I don't know what it is, but it definitely seems unfair. So I'll just say that. So yeah. So yes. So yes, very good point, Edna. Yeah, kids with ADHD, a little hyper and boom, they have ADHD. And I will say that I think the reason for that is because pharmaceutical companies, as far as I understand it, give bonuses to doctors for prescribing their medication. So there's a financial incentive to overprescribe medications, which, you know, it really sucks. So yeah. Okay, how do I start a pack? Have a female and a male. I started off with a male, then I got a female. I don't think it really matters which one you start off with. I think that it's important that you stagger your age groups. So ideally, right, like if I wasn't a breeder and I just wanted to have a pack of dogs, I would start with one dog. I would wait until that dog was at the very least 6 months old, preferably about a year old. Then I would get my next dog. And then I would, and eat. The point of that is you want a natural age difference and you want a natural training. So you want the young dog to understand that the older dog that is there is at that time the alpha. Cashmere did rise above Preacher, but females oftentimes do that anyway with males. But nonetheless, there usually is a natural kind of, when there's an age gap there, it does help with that, with preventing fightings and competition and things like that. It doesn't eliminate it. It's not a guarantee there's not going to be a problem, but it does limit the possibility of that. So yeah, so that natural age group. And then what you get to do is you get to train that young one up. So each time you bring one in, you spend that year training that dog so that you have full control, right? So every time you bring in a new dog, you have 100% control over the ones that you already have. So when you bring in this new one, you have a very stable pack, very stable rules, so that the new one comes in and automatically sees, okay, this is how things run. This is how things go. And they already know, I'm not going to be able to get away with this. It doesn't mean you're not going to have to train them, but they do tend to learn by example. And when they see what the other dogs are doing, dogs will, like they say, when in Rome, do as the Romans, right? So dogs know that, they adapt to the pack, and you're going to have a much better a chance of not having fighting and of having a better cohesive pack if you do it that way. That's just my advice. I'll stop breeding Preacher when he's no longer, able to breed, I guess. I've considered putting him on ice, like saving his goods. But I don't know. I haven't done it yet. I really need to, though. If you're going to do it, you should do it when a dog is young. Let me see. What's some advice for beginning dog breeders? Me and my fellow just brought 2 Cane Corso. When they get older, we want to make a business and start breeding Cane Corso in Tennessee. So I'll be honest. When you say you want to start a business, that in itself, for me, is slightly problematic, because breeding dogs, while it is a business, that shouldn't be your main goal. If it is, you're probably not going to be able to do it right. Mostly, first of all, you need to have a passion for the dogs. Second of all, you need to have a goal of preserving the breed and of acquiring really good dogs and in breeding really good dogs and learning as much as you can about the breed and about structure, about temperament, so that you can breed the best dogs that you can. Breeding dogs isn't something, it's not like a normal business. It's not like you're going to get on your feet and then you're just going to automatically have income. it doesn't work that way. Bad things happen. You know what I mean? Like with what just happened with me with the metronidazole, giving my females medication that my vet prescribed. I lost out on a whole litter, and 3 puppies out of the other litter. And that set me back quite a bit. You know, I've had times where like Velocity didn't get pregnant the first time, or, you know, that one time where Cashmere didn't get pregnant that one time. It's not normally in a business. It's like you get it running, you get your customers. And then as long as you have customers, you just consistently make money, right? You have a product, whether it's food, maybe it's a restaurant, as long as, you know, you have customers, you're good to go. You just keep, you know, supplying the food and the customers keep coming and you're good to go. Dogs are not like that. It's not a predictable income. And in going about it in the way of like a business is not always a good idea. And you're probably not going to be successful if you go at it from that perspective. So that's just my opinion. You know, there are much easier ways of making money. Okay. So yeah, let's see here. And that's great, Susie Q. Susie Q. If it's not, you know, yeah. So yes, LW, you do. Yeah, you do. You need a mission statement. So, for me, you know, it is a passion. That's why I get in a lot of trouble in the community, because I'm willing to speak out about how I feel about things. You know, what's funny is that, and that's another thing about it, is like when you get into dog breeding, a lot of people think it's about the dogs, and it is, but you need to understand that, there are a lot of like gatekeepers, right? In any breed. And I don't know of any other business where people that are in the same business are as aggressive with one another. You know what I mean? I just don't know of it. And so when you are a breeder, not only will you be attacked by animal rights activists, potentially lawmakers, people that just don't know any better, you're also going to be attacked by people that consider themselves your competitors, or people that just don't like you. Like anybody that gets into breeding, for the most part, you're going to be hated for a while, because they're just like, oh, here's a new one. You know what I mean? Like there's just this weirdness that goes into it. So you have to have a passion, because if you don't, you'll never make it. There's so many things stacked against you that you just won't make it. And for me, it's my dogs and it's my passion for what I do that keeps me waking up and doing this and putting up with the crap that I have to put up with all the time. People blatantly make up lies about me, about my dogs. And in order to keep doing it, you know, I have to have a passion for what I do. And so, and that's really, you know, it is not something that's easy to do. And especially to do well. So, do I think it can be done? Absolutely. But I do think that people, sometimes don't understand everything that goes into it. A lot of people think it's just about acquiring good dogs, and they don't understand all of the issues that surround dog breeding. And so, yeah, I mean, and like I said, if you know, like a lot of people get into dog breeding and then they realize how aggressive the community is, and what they do is they basically kind of bend to that. Like a lot of people, it's in human nature to want to be accepted by your peer group, by your social group, and to be a part of, you know, kind of a friend group or whatever. And so when you see that there's like these people that have been doing it for a while, right? And they have this narrative, this kind of philosophy that they go by, right? And it's kind of like considered, you know, the accepted, the accepted way, or the accepted, you know, theories. And if you come in and you have a different opinion, you're going to be shut down. Not only will you be shut down for having a different opinion, but they're going to look at you and they're going to say, who do you think you are? What do you know? You know, you don't know anything. How long have you been doing this? Like if they just have a need to shut down any dissenting opinion, or thought or theory or anything. It doesn't matter whether you're right or wrong or anything. If it's not from their lips, from them, they don't want to hear it. And what ends up happening is you get these people that may have good intentions to start with, but they're not strong enough in their character to be able to stand up against that, that kind of pushback, right? And they end up kind of falling into just being another one of the crowd, right? Another one of those people. And you can lose yourself in that. And then you just become another person. Like, I'm sure that the show German Shepherd was like that, right? Like at one point it was a functional dog, had a straight back, looked like a normal dog, right? Over time, you started getting these people breeding for these really exaggerated features. And I'm sure that there were probably people that spoke out against it, but they were shut down. And eventually it just became the norm, right? There weren't enough people that were willing to stand up and speak up and really kind of, wave a flag and say, hey, this is wrong. And the breed just went downhill. So you have to be strong enough to stand up for what's right. And a lot of people, aren't. So yeah. So it is getting kind of late, you guys. And I think, I think we should kind of end it. I gotta get my little minion to bed. So I really, appreciate you guys joining me, and being here for our surprise unboxing and our surprise live stream. And I really appreciate all of you for being here and for being with us all the time. And I really hope that you guys are having a great Memorial Day weekend.
It's Memorial Day weekend.
Mm-hmm. Oh. And yeah. So anyway, hope y'all are having a good night, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye. Bye.